Ciao Juventini of the world. My name is Giuseppe. Welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. You can know it, and we start immediately with it. Here we are live. You can watch it in replay. Don't forget to interact because that's the most beautiful thing. And then if you want to listen to it and not watch the video, you know that you can listen to us Spotify, Apple Podcast on the channel of Turin Giants. If you want more of the faces of Kevin, Zach, Frederic, Farad, and Co, you know their channel on YouTube is Turin Giants official. Go and watch them. Go and follow them because they are doing fantastic work. And from what I see, from what I saw, they're even increasing more and more and more the content, which is always good because Juventus can do well, Juventus can do bad, but we always need Juventus in our life. Ciao Frederic, ciao Zach, and ciao Kevin.
Ciao Beppe.
Good to be here.
Always good to be here. Yes.
Very excited. Very excited.
And what's a Thursday without this show anyways? I mean, it would be empty without it, right?
Would be empty because now it's really a regular one. We will probably, surely not do it next week on the 25th. We'll probably not do it on the 1st of January. So we really wanted to do it today. I was about to cancel it because the people that watched the video this morning, you know it, that I had the surgery. At the moment, I have something in my mouth, so I need to get used to it. But I was feeling better. I said, you know what? Instead of missing 3 Thursdays in a row, this one, we need to do it because we need to speak about Juventus Roma, a big test. After losing against Napoli, after winning against Bologna, this one is a really important one because then we can look at the ranking. So I wanted to speak about that. We need to speak about the team and all what happened with now Perin, Locatelli, and a few minutes ago also Federico Gatti that started to speak about the rumor. So let's speak about that. Let's speak about Mercato if you want, and then the lineup for tomorrow. So we have a beautiful planning, not a long one today, but a beautiful planning with Assam into the chat, with Juve fan into the chat. We have Forza Juve, Bianconeri, ciao Sasha, on time today, 404 error, Mufid, ciao Neven, my man. Thank you, Nevin. You didn't tell me if you liked or you didn't like the video of yesterday, so please send me a message to tell me. Buongiorno Bogdan, ciao Iorio, ciao a tutti. Oh, how do we start? And with what do we start?
Can we start with sharing the fun news that we have coming up at the end of January to start the year?
Yeah, we can.
I think that'd be a great place to start. So just to get right to it for everybody in the chat, all 4 of us are going to find ourselves in the same city, in a very particular city at that. I don't know if you can see the image here. It would be that city right there. We will be in lovely Turin for Juve Napoli on, what do we got? Sunday, January 26th? 5th? Yeah.
5th.
So going to be awesome. Giuseppe was able to coordinate some work with our beloved club, and I was able to wrangle Frederic and Zach to join me. So
yeah, shout out to the Juventus club.
Yeah,
they hooked us up. It was the Belgian Juventus club with Federico, but I think it's very important to mention for the people that want to go and see a game, just register to your local Juventus club because they can help you out. They have official contacts with Juventus. They can sort your ticket without paying extortionate prices on your internet or getting scammed out of the stadium. So shout out to him particularly, but all the Juve clubs who put in such great work to get us involved and get us in the atmosphere of Juventus at the stadium. So yeah, sorry to interrupt, Kevin. I felt it was a bit of a.
No, you did well of mentioning it because I'm also a part of the club of Federico, well, which Federico is managing. Super easy. You go on store.juventus.com. You go to official fan club. Totally below, and then you look at one that is really close to you, but you're not even obliged to go with one that is really close to you. And I can tell you that the president of the clubs, and I had the opportunity to meet a lot around the world, they are really working a lot to make the travels extremely easy for people. At least you don't need to take care of tickets and things like that. Are really helping you a lot. And then there are people also that travel a lot to Torino, so they know they can help you with a lot of tips where to stay. So it's really, really nice. No, I'm super happy that on the 25th we meet the 4 of us, because that will be great. Unfortunately, we'll not watch the game together because I will be somewhere else because I'm working, but we will try to meet, of course, or before or after, depending of the schedule, and trying to do which would be fantastic, a live episode or something like that, or at least recording together. That would be really beautiful.
Of course.
I'm so excited for it because Beppe, you and I have had the chance to meet outside the stadium at least once. I think twice though. But Zach and Frederic, like my Turin Giants colleagues, we've never met in person. So it'll be just such a beautiful moment to be in Turin out of all places for the first time.
You know what's a little bit stupid is that Kevin has met my brother before me and him have met. They ran into each other, in DC at a conference.
At a work conference, yeah.
And my brother texted me. He's like, "Is this Kevin? I feel like I'm in the presence of a celebrity." And I'm like, "Yeah, go say hi." So it's about time.
You know,
it's about time.
What's even crazier is that these guys fly in from US on Friday or Saturday to watch the game. They leave on Monday. They get jet lagged like forever. That's like literally a weekend spending in jet lag, and not to mention the cost. But that's just goes to show what great guys they are and what they are willing to do, not only for Juventus but also for the people they meet along the way, such as myself. So I'm very honored that I can meet you guys in person and in real time there.
I'm going to clear a space back here on this bookshelf. I am going to make sure we get a nice picture. We're going to put that bad boy in a frame, and I'm going to sit it right back here.
Yes.
So yeah, that's my goal.
Let's not forget to do that.
Yeah,
it'll be a missed opportunity. I can't wait to see you guys.
Nah, that will be really, really, really fun. Also because Juve Napoli could potentially be an important game.
Very.
Of course, there are a lot of games before starting already this weekend. Juve Roma. And then if you're looking at the schedule, Pisa, Sassuolo, Cremonese, Cagliari. There is another one in the meanwhile. I forgot which one. But there are a lot of games before. But Juve Napoli could be a really important one. Probably even more important than the one that we just lost last week. So it could be really important one, starting already with tomorrow. What are you feeling after Bologna for the game of tomorrow? How do we enter the game of Juve Roma after beating Bologna? I know that I was wrong with my prediction last time. Huh?
Yeah, are we going to count the points there, Beppe?
No,
I'm just kind of curious, kind of where things fall and who's in the lead now and everything, because I think only one of us predicted a win in that game. I don't remember which one it was.
I think I know which one. I need to check because I have a lot of papers here. I think I know. I will continue to speak. I will try to find the result that we said last time.
Yeah, the chat is correct. The game is not tomorrow. It's on Saturday. But
I have them.
Okay.
I said that we would lose 2-0. We won 1-0. Frederic said that we would draw 2-2. And Zach said that we would win 2-1. We won 1-0.
Man, that guy's a smart guy right there. I think that's 1 point in the book for me. I think I'm in the lead. By a nose.
No. Because
no.
We said that we started officially in January.
Always moving the goalposts.
And I predicted last week. I think I predicted the correct score and result, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
Come on, no.
Yeah. Frederic 2-0 against
Bodo.
against Napoli. Yeah.
Napoli.
No,
2-0 win against Bodo.
it was against Paphos 2-0.
Yeah. Paphos, Bodo.
Yeah,
Paphos. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry. Well, I think having more time off after coming off of a victory, coming off a situation where I think a lot of people like Openda were able to shine and Cabal, who's been struggling a bit, to shine a little bit, should give the team not only confidence but also the time this week to prepare for a team that is, frankly, their strength really plays against our weaknesses. We've been struggling to score goals at times or to fashion chances at times, though we've been doing better lately. And Roma has the best defense in Serie A. And so I think having this game at home will be a really interesting chess match between these two managers, considering the confidence that we've been able to bring in from that last game.
I think the main thing or the main takeaway that I have, I think that the win in Bologna was also sparked due to the fact that we came on the pitch with a different mentality. as opposed to other games, especially. I mean, I know that the first half wasn't all that great, but you can see that there was some sort of shift in mentality. There was more eagerness to fight, to battle, to do whatever, even though the technical limits are still visible. Let's be honest here. It's not like we're a super club all of a sudden, but there was a change in mentality, and the fact that we tried to, fight our way through that game, which was very important because it was always going to be a fighting game. This was not going to be a technical, superb game by both sides. So I think that we did well, and I hope we can repeat that in the Roma game, which will be fairly similar for me in terms of not maybe in possession or space, but at least in tempo. I think the tempo will be up and down a lot, and it's going to be up to us to take advantage of the times when the tempo drops a bit. I feel that there's a lot of opportunity that lies there for us, but we need to be a bit more sharper because the Bologna game might have, we could have scored 3 or 4 goals, let's be honest, and we didn't, and that's a big minus because Roma don't give away that many chances. So when you get a chance, you must be able to take that one and score a goal. If not, you're going to make it very hard on yourself. So that's, I'm a bit torn in 2 ways here. So I hope for the same mentality, but I hope for more sharpness in front of goal because we won't see the same amount of chances we had against Bologna.
Yeah, I've got a split kind of thought on this match as well. I think what helped us play a bit better in the Bologna game is that it was open, right? Bologna plays football, right? They don't just sit back. And against the teams that have sat back, we end up dominating possession, but it's that slow possession where we make it up the field and we hang around the box, and it's like we pass it 19 times in the upper right corner and then try and get it around the box and do something, and it ends up with Locatelli, and we're just back and forth, and we can't make runs, we can't penetrate. We have done much better when we're moving at pace towards the goal, and generally more centrally when we're able to unlock chances. And I think Bologna gave us some of those chances, and in other times this season when we scored. Granted, I know we scored off of a set piece in that game, but we had our fair share of chances that we just didn't capitalize. Now, Roma is 3rd in the league in possession right now. So I'm hopeful that also is indicating that this should be a bit more of an open match as well, which should lend itself to hopefully some scoring opportunities for us with it being back and forth. However, we know they've only conceded 8 goals. We know they're not letting in many opportunities, and they've been defending surprisingly incredibly well under Gasparini. I was not expecting them to be
a good goalkeeper.
I was going to add that point too, Beppe, is it's not just their goaltending. I mean, when you look at the shots and the pressure and so forth, Svilar is an X factor. I know that, Frederic, his definition of a good goalkeeper is one that wins you points, but Roma absolutely have one.
Oh yeah. To me, he's the best goalkeeper of Serie A at the moment by far.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, at least top 2.
Who would be another one?
It depends. Not Di Gregorio. Not Di Gregorio, that's for sure. No, it depends because I think you have a lot of keepers, especially when they play against Juve, they become Superman. But I think Maignan is having a really good season as well. We didn't expect him to with the injuries he had last season and the lack of consistency, but he's proving to be very consistent. And there are games where he does the same as Svilar does and win points for Milan. And I mean, for me, it's a toss-up between the both of them. And if only we could get one of them, I think it'd help our cause a lot. Maybe we will. Who knows? Watch the scoop.
Yeah.
Well, I don't believe that Svilar is a possibility. Personally, if we are speaking about Maignan, when you have a goalkeeper, because he's a good goalkeeper, I would personally pay attention because injuries are annoying with him because it's often per season, but from what I know, Chelsea's on him since really long. And if he would leave Italy, then it's because he already has an agreement with Chelsea. Of course, Juventus will try to inform, and probably they already try to inform themselves about him, because on a zero, it's always nice to have a goalkeeper like that. Di Gregorio did a fantastic game against Bologna. I don't know if you saw it or not, but he's the one that is deflecting the ball on the bar, which is a beautiful save that is keeping us alive. Also in the first 5 minutes when he's saving on Orsolini. But I must say that when you have an opportunity like Maignan, you look at it, you inform yourself. But they already wanted him this summer, from Milan, and he would love to go there. But then Milan, they wanted too much of a price, and Chelsea said, "Bah, we don't care." Then we take him the year after for a free. I believe that Chelsea, Maignan, if he leaves Milan, he leaves Italy, and then he's really close to Chelsea. Then, if Juve can convince him, why not? But it would be strange to me, even if he has absolutely no contact with Milan management, to leave a team that is at the moment in rebuilding phase and competing for it, or maybe he's a bit more ready now than Juve is, without knowing if Juve will play Champions League next season or not. Would be strange to me.
You never know. But we need, because I wanted to.
That's not
No.
information.
No, I just wanted to say, like, you mentioned the fact that Di Gregorio played a good game, and he did. But is this not the level that we expect from any random Juventus goalkeeper at that point? Because I've been thinking this through, and I never said Di Gregorio is like a very poor keeper. I always said that he's just not good enough, which for me is a difference. And I think if he puts out these performances as he did against Bologna for a whole season,
You know what I appreciated against Bologna? The fact that he went out of his line a lot of time.
He did.
Giving a bit more security, which we never saw, and I was blaming him a lot, because if today we need to blame Di Gregorio, there is one big point. It's that leadership of being vocal in giving actually trust to his defenders, that he's managing that box, which a lot of time he doesn't. If he starts to do like what he did against Bologna, he's doing now. Some people are asking Beppe, what are the news from Torino about Spalletti? I tell you one thing about the news from Turin, is that Di Gregorio is aware that he needs to do better. That's already a big thing. He is aware.
Self-awareness is a good quality that
that's
not
a good
all
start.
Of our players have.
No, but also some people, they don't know that they need to do better. Huh?
Yeah.
That's it works, no?
I think in better teams, a goalkeeper might not get as much attention as he does. The fact is this team is flawed, even when we're playing well, to the point where we need our goalkeeper to be an active participant in our victories. That's just inevitable as far as I'm concerned in every game, no matter the stature. We've seen it already in what, the 17 to 20 games we've played across all competitions this year. This team always makes a mistake, and the goalkeeper has to make a play. So, like, when you're in that position, you need a goalkeeper that steps up and makes it at the right time. Bologna game, he did. But I think we can all agree that he hasn't always consistently shown the type of presence, like Beppe is talking about, that you might want to give you a little bit more peace of mind, knowing that your team is going to give up a couple chances a game.
Yeah. Can we switch from Di Gregorio to talk about another concern I have? And it's the left side of our field.
And I thought you would have brought back another topic.
Well, I mean, it's with Coop out. I'm curious to see. I mean, you were talking about the lineup earlier. Are we going to continue with a 3-4-2-1 and then make adjustments, or are we going to go straight to a back four? There's lineups that are showing Adzic in that like Bracetta role, and it's looking at how well Wesley has been doing, Soulé at pace with Cambiaso and whoever on the left side. I just. The left side of our field concerns me for that match.
Can I say, because I didn't see any lineup right now, but I must say that today I saw the activities of Adzic on Instagram, where he reposted 2 pictures, and I was like, can you imagine if this is the surprise for tomorrow from Spalletti? I don't think so, personally. I don't think so. But where did you see a lineup?
I mean, I'm looking at FOTMob and Live Score, and they're showing a projected lineup with Adzic. It's just I don't trust these things. It just was interesting to see, but we don't have a natural player. If Bremer's starting on the bench and we're with Kelly Kalulu and whoever, I don't know if Rugani's. Zach, you're muted.
Yeah, with the players available. Sorry, thanks, Kevin. It'd be really hard to play 5-man back. We just don't. I don't think we have the players. I think you're going to see a 4-man back line. I think that's at least highly likely, in my opinion. You're going to see a 4-man back line. And as to the left side, is as rough as he is, I would play Cabal over Cambiaso, because Cambiaso hasn't shown anything from that position to give me any confidence that as a fullback and a back 4, he can do the defensive work needed to give us stability in that position. And so Cabal also has had his one-on-one issues defending. There's no question. But his role at Verona, so 2 years ago, was very much more of a practical, defense-focused, left-sided center back / defensive fullback. He very good with his aerial duel and tackling in deep set positions. And so I think if we simplify his role a little bit, put him in the lineup, could give us a little bit more stability there in a 4-man formation, absent Coop and any center back depth.
So when you're saying 4, who are you thinking is going to be the center back pairing? Bremer?
I really hope that he doesn't start. I don't know what he looks like in training. It was very clear to me that he's not fully mentally back, because his defending at the end of that Bologna game was very conservative. He was just booting the ball. And I don't mind that. Like, if you're as a defender, you're not really sure what to do, boot it to the moon, right? I just keep it simple. Don't do what Cabal did, head the ball back in, so just to spark a counterattack against our own team. So I don't mind that, but it was indicative to me of a player physically and or mentally who's not fully back. So I hope he doesn't play. But then you have Cabal, you have Kelly, you have Kalulu, and you would have McKennie probably. Absent Bremer. If Bremer somehow is gotten Spalletti's trust, you then move Kalulu out wide, put Bremer in the middle, McKennie into the midfield of that, a 3-man midfield.
Yeah.
And you go from there.
It's early, but this is the predicted lineup from Gazzetta dello Sport. It's early. Let's see if I can make it a bit bigger.
This makes more sense.
Di Gregorio with Kalulu, Kelly, Cabal in a 3-man defense. Then McKennie, Locatelli, Thuram, Cambiaso. Conceição is Openda instead of Jonathan David.
But you know what that is though, Beppe? That's basically a 4-3-3, because Cambiaso is going to drift up into the midfield like a Mezzala. Cabal's going to shift over, and McKennie's going to prowl the right like more an aggressive fullback. So in effect, that's exactly what we're talking about.
With McKennie right back, Cabal left back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think so.
Locatelli, Thuram, and Cambiaso.
I think it'll be fluid.
3-man.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm leaning towards. Yeah, I'm on the fence a bit, but I'm leaning towards that as well. I don't think he'll sacrifice the stability in defense in such a game.
It's interesting to see Openda here over David in
I
the
would not play
projected lineup.
Openda against Roma from the first minute.
Sorry, say that again?
I would not start Openda from
No,
the first
I wouldn't
Correct.
either. I just wanted to make sure I didn't hear it the other way. I wouldn't either.
I would play Jonathan David to start the game. Then when it's open in second half, then Openda can do something important because they entered really well against Bologna. But I think that with a close defense of Roma in the beginning of the game, I don't know if we will see the same intensity from the first minute, but it will be at a certain moment intense. But I don't know if it will start in an intense way. I would not play Openda immediately, that needs spaces. I'm also concerned about Cabal and Cambiaso there. while you have a Sule that is extremely technical and a Wesley that is extremely fast, and he scored last time, he's in form. It's a player that I like, Wesley. We were on him. I think that might be dangerous. From what I know, from what I heard, is that Bremer has 55 minutes in his legs. So 60 could also be, it could be 45, it could be 60, you never know in a game. But it's true what Zach is saying. One of the problems, of course, is the fact that how he entered last time is not that much physically, but the mental, because he entered and he was indeed throwing the ball as soon as he had the opportunity to throw it away. So
if anything, I think
if he can, they start with Bremer. I said what I thought could be an opportunity to split the minutes over Rugani and Bremer.
I mean, Rugani just came back and hadn't played much. I mean, those are two players who don't have a lot of game time in their legs. That would be a real roll of the dice. I think that formation you showed is probably the best we do under the circumstances of people who have fitness in their legs. And then you bring
a three-man defense with Cambiaso to support him. I'm scared.
Well, absolutely. I mean, and this isn't a knock against Rugani. Rugani is a very solid backup player and who I like. But I mean, that's just you saw how Bremer was, and Rugani hasn't played in forever. I mean, the amount of minutes he has this year is really minimal, and so you're trusting experience over fitness, and that is, I mean, that's a trade-off, right? I'd lead towards fitness versus solely relying on guys who've been there whose fitness is in question.
If one thing, I think this formation or the makeshift formation that we showed from La Gazzetta is clearly highlighting the fact that we have certain holes in our team which we pondered over and we talked about over and over again. So the question to me, or the question I think that pops up in a lot of people's heads is, are we going to remedy those in the short term? And if we do, how do we do it? And we know that the priority is in midfield. But if you look at, like what Zach said, that left wing back position or that left back position makes the eyes bleed. Something needs to be done there. And it's pretty much a shame that for such a big game, we cannot have at least 90% of our squad fit.
That's also kind of football, right? That's also kind of. I mean, everybody over the course of a season deals with little things here, little things there.
Yeah, but
in the Napoli game, both teams were down like 7 notable players. I mean, that's just the nature of the sport.
Yeah, but if you compare, like we have Dusan out, we have Koopmeiners out, we have Bremer potentially out, Rugani, who always did well as a substitute or a makeshift defender, so to speak. For me, that's especially in this game, our defense will be tested. If not by the number of chances, it'll be in physicality or in tempo. And this is my concern.
Do you think that Spalletti is looking at the absence of Koopmeiners as a big problem for this game?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I think he is. I
don't think so.
I think. I mean, look at it. When we're talking about look at the left side, right? We look at Cabal versus Cambiaso, 3-man, 4-man. If we were looking at that same formation, you take out Cabal, put in Koopmeiners, are we really stressing about the center back line, or are we focused on Cambiaso?
He was really starting to show some signs of being in difficulty against some players. Since the last 2-3, Orsolini, Neres, and probably also Sule would have been extremely difficult for him. I think that maybe it's better to have him out, and maybe he's thinking about it himself. At a certain moment of the game, I was watching. I thought to myself, maybe he's looking to receive that yellow card, because he started extremely aggressive, like pushing once, twice. He didn't receive it, and the third one he was booked. So I was like, maybe he's looking for it. So he doesn't want to play the game of Roma. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but he was really pushing. I was like, what are you doing? You are booked. So now he starts. To me, he started to be exposed. And to be honest, I think it's not even that bad that he's out against Roma, because a third game, low game, could have taken a bit of his confidence. So let's see him in the next cycle of rounds, maybe already in the midfield against Pisa, Sassuolo, Cremonese, to grow there. He showed some signs, huh? No?
Well, we should start playing him back in midfield. I mean, we all knew that this was a short-term solution. This was not going to be our left back for like 2-3 seasons. I think that the message is clear. We did it to make him gain some confidence, make him get some minutes in, to bond more with the team on a footballing level, which was pretty successful. About the individual things, I think he did his fair share. He got in trouble with certain players, but that's to say Cambiaso did the same and Cabal did the same. Getting in trouble with those. But I think it's time for us to move on and put him into midfield. That's why we purchased him for. That's why he's needed. So I really hope that he gets pushed in that position.
He will, though. I mean, with Bremer and Rugani like fully fit and healthy, there's no doubt, right? It's just we're kind of still in that limbo where we're not sure how fit but Bremer and Rugani truly are at this game. Like come Pisa, I don't think there'll be much question, but it's just the timing of this Roma game is weird with the suspension to Coop plus just coming back to health. Those two center backs, right?
Chicho McFly is asking who is going to play in the midfield. Thank you, Chicho, for your donation, my friend.
Is this like who would I play in the
Roma
midfield,
or in an ideal starting?
I mean,
I mean, I think it's a foregone conclusion that we will see Cambiaso, Thuram, Locatelli, and McKennie. Maybe there's an outside shot. Miretti's in there, but I doubt it.
I really, I don't think that Miretti's going to be in there.
No, I don't either.
Also, what I'm hearing, Mbappe, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you received the same info or no info, but Miretti's been training really poorly this week.
This week I didn't ask. I don't know.
It depends. It depends on what formation we play. Because if we play a back four, if Bremer starts, Kalulu's at right back, then you put McKennie in the midfield. If Bremer doesn't start, McKennie's one of the fullbacks. I would actually, despite his period of form in a 4-3-3, start Cambiaso in the midfield as sort of a further forward Mezzala type character, because that's where he's going to go anyways, and that lessens his defensive burden. And we saw the 3-4.
I think that we will start with Kalulu as right back, Rugani, Kelly, Cabal. No, I think that what we will do is Rugani as a right back. No, what did I say? You see that I take too much medicine, guys. So, Kalulu as a right back.
Yeah. Then Kelly.
Rugani, Kelly, Cambiaso. Locatelli, Thuram. Conceição, McKennie, Yildiz, Jonathan David.
So, okay.
I don't think that we will see Cabal immediately.
Makes sense.
But that's still a 4-3-3 or 4-3-2-1. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's gonna be that 4-3-2-1 again, I think. I think it's gonna be. You don't have to
4-3 or 3-4.
No, I think 4-3.
4-3. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 4-3. I think with the personnel we have available, still I think we're going to see the 4-man defense from the start.
Today's a no structure episode. I want to answer Remco. Beppe, you think that Fratesi is the right midfielder we need? I will answer latest.
We know how Kevin feels about that
one.
Well, it's a question for you, Beppe. So
I know. I said I don't want to influence. But to me, no. To me, absolutely not. No, but you know what annoys me? It's the fact that you are paying Inter to solve them a problem, because he is a problem there. They want some money for him. They don't let him play. And with Inzaghi, now with Kivu, it's a player that wants to leave. So he is a problem for Inter. They really want to cash in, because he's still young. He's 26 years. Then that he has qualities, why not? Yeah, he has qualities, but it's a bench player. We're talking about a bench player to come to you. I'm not even speaking about the rumors of a swap or whatever. I'm just speaking about Fratesi. One, you're solving a problem. Two, you believe that the bench player of Inter will be your starter to solve our problems. No. And then it's a player that Spalletti, when he was playing him with La Nazionale, He always played him in a quite offensive role. This is not what at Juve we need at the moment today. Also because I believe that Jonathan David will start to play a bit more down with up and down, a bit more up, because now we have a new striker on the bench really soon. He's back.
Milik.
Arkadiusz Milik is back.
He's going to solve all the problems. Heard it here first.
No, but he will not be back immediately.
No.
But he could potentially be on the bench in the second part of in 2026, which would help. If you want to play Jonathan David and open that together, it helps to have him on the bench. And don't forget, fantastic season with Spalletti at Napoli, Milik.
I mean, when he was fit,
yeah,
in ancient history, he was absolutely a very solid, competent, at times, really good Serie A striker. But that was, when dinosaurs roamed the world.
If the duct tape comes loose, then what we need to do. We cannot patch him back together anymore. I think we did the best we could. I think it's time to donate his body to science.
I personally believe that we will not see him anymore.
I think we'll see him on the 35th of October. That's when we'll see him play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
What about you guys? Frattesi, you want him or not?
No. Even if I wanted him, the discussion begins and ends with the fact that we would have to pay money for him. We don't have money right now, and we certainly wouldn't be given any gifts from Inter. So it's even if he was the perfect fit for us and he would just be the missing piece and we go on this, we don't have the money to buy him anyways, considering the relationship between the clubs.
And is that who you'd want to spend if we have very precious money? Is that who you'd want to spend it on?
Well, I mean, that's when you get
trying
into
to date his sister again.
Yes, I think it begins and ends from a financial standpoint, even if he was the perfect fit, which, of course, Kevin rightfully points out is probably not the case.
And what is he going to solve exactly? Like, what are the intricate things that Frattesi offers that we can find in our own squad or somewhere else? Because I'm going about this in my head. Like, what does he bring to the table exactly?
Objectively, the only thing that I can say, like, forget the fact that he's an Inter player and everything that we've talked about, is that he does have a nose for goal. And none of our midfielders do, really.
He does.
That is the thing. We have no goal scoring midfielders with any consistency. He scores when he plays.
But if we only need to
and Inter, right? Like,
if we need to take that box, then we can find numerous players that have the same capabilities, and we can buy or loan them without doing a rival a favor, and potentially
Timber.
Yeah. He was offered.
Someone gave me a name, but it's not possible. But that would be a nice idea. I don't know if you would agree with me.
Quentin?
Goretzka.
Yeah.
Oh, Goretzka? Yeah.
How old is he now?
30.
Yeah.
In February 31.
He's been around forever, but he's just 30, yeah.
Yeah, I take Goretzka in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I would too.
He checks a lot of boxes, though. He checks a lot of boxes. I mean, earlier the chat was talking about how we don't have, that leader, that personality that can come in and rally people. I know that Beppe, you and Frederic were advocating, and I don't really want to remember it, but for Sergio Ramos to come in and be kind of that presence. I would much prefer Goretzka to come in to do not only a better job on the pitch, which I believe, but also marshal the dressing room in the way that we want and the way we would expect a Juventus team to behave.
And
so I'm all for that.
Tactical, like, flow and slightly slower pace of Serie A would benefit him, right? And I know, and our friend Del Piero 109 in the chat seems anti this, but I do. I mean, he's not necessarily the same player he was 3, 4, 5 seasons ago. But perhaps the more tactical league would serve him well. So if that was a real opportunity, I mean, between him and Frattesi, it's not even a question.
No. But I think there's a lot of, not necessarily for January, but I think that, we'll try to, in general, survive this market by bringing in a center midfielder, which is a big priority for Juventus. This is the #1 priority. If we have the chance to sign somebody in the back who brings more to the table other than the players that we have now, I don't think we'll hesitate. But I think we need to wait for the summer, not only because of the window itself, because the January transfer market window is a very difficult one, because either you pay too much for players that you really want, or you get leftovers. But also due to the fact that, you know, the book year ends in June, and our balance sheet will look a lot more healthier. And by a lot, I think we discussed this yesterday, Zach. We're talking about at least 120, 130 million if the transfers from Nico and Douglas Luiz go through.
The one of Dugi is difficult, huh?
Yeah, that one's in question. I think the Nico one looks pretty solid, at least so far, pending some catastrophic injury. But still, a lot of money coming in. I think Frederic is alluding to if we might plug our episode series called The Scoop, where we do all of our it's our transfer program at Turin Giants. So we'll be sure to keep y'all informed for all the information that we get through that form.
But we have to intervene, and we have a lot of weaknesses in our team that we need to remedy. And it doesn't make sense to do this like one in one go, because you would have no cohesion. But I think what we need to do now, if we continue with Spalletti, because that's also a if for now, let's see where we stand after January and what the balance will be from January till June, and then see where we need to intervene and what we could do. And I just really hope I'm pushing for that Dougie move, because I don't think he has a future at Juventus.
But they need to do something in the winter. I'm really expecting something in the winter. I don't care about money, no money. I really want something in the winter.
So, are you expecting something surprising, or just cautious moves, just kind of doing the right thing?
Surprising? No, I don't expect huge big names. Like, you know, I said Goretzka is an interesting name because he's going on a free in July. So, but the salary is quite high. I don't think that you go in now paying a fee plus finding an agreement on a transfer fee is quite high. I think he was like €7 million net plus €2 million bonus, something like that. It's quite high. So I don't think a name like Goretzka, but I also don't think a name like Højbjerg, which is one of the leaders of the derby with Marseille. They're doing quite well in Liga. No, but I really hope something better than moves a la Thiago Jallo and what was it, Carlo Alcaraz. We need to step up a bit. Going on back on the game of tomorrow. Chicho has a question. Thank you, Chicho. Chicho is a difficult word to pronounce. Is Juve trying to control the match or control Roma's mistake? And Beppe is right with Sergio Ramos. We need some cojones. Sergio Ramos, from what I hear, is further away than he was a few weeks ago. So, no. But, yeah, someone with balls is interesting. Then, I don't think that Juventus can control mistakes. Not from Roma, from whatever team.
I feel like
what is the plan of Spalletti against Roma, according to you, Zach?
I think there's going to be. I think it was you who were saying earlier, Beppe, that you don't feel like there's going to be quite the energy at the beginning of the game that maybe we saw against Bologna. I think these are two veteran tacticians who are going to go into this game trying to feel each other out a little bit. I think Gasperini understands he's missing.
It was not intention to play high intensity against Bologna. It's because 5 minutes you are totally dominated with 3 shots on target from Bologna. That's where you wake up and you change your plan. What I think, I don't know if Roma will be like that,
but they won't. I think they've struggled to score goals and build up. I think they've been much more focused on defensive solidity and trying to still figure out their offensive sync. And so I think you're going to see them be a little bit more conservative to try to get us out of our shell. And I think Spalletti's going to slow play as well. I think we're going to see more of a chess match to start this game, to figure out where they can, what areas of the pitch they can attack, and what vulnerabilities might yield itself. and I know we're not getting to predictions yet, but this will relay into my predictions, is I would be shocked if we go in and saw a game like Bologna at home against Roma. Roma is 4 points clear of us. They have very little incentive to go into Torino and go crazy, and I don't expect them to.
I don't know, because Gasperini is not one that is holding it. He doesn't care. Gasperini is always like, we play game by game and we try to win all of them, which sometimes it's a bit stupid from him. I never saw a Gasperini's career calculating things, which sometimes he should have done.
I mean, you in one respects, like as it's played out this year, you're right. I mean, Roma's got 0 ties, right? They've either won or they lost, but at the same time, they don't score any goals and they don't concede any. I mean, these are very low. These in a lot of ways, the goals that they do score are kind of like us and earlier in the year, or certainly with Mota, where it was more like, oh wow, we scored. And so it's this Roma team is still being massaged by Gasperini's vision. This is not Atalanta. It is not. They've got good players at Roma, but this is not Atalanta. And so with that in mind, and as Gasperini is still trying to figure it out, his best lineups and the best way to utilize, certainly an attack. That's why I think this ends up going into a chess match. Plus, Juventus need to win this game way more than Roma does. Way more than Roma. And so if I'm Gasperini, you can say, hey, well, let's see what Juventus is going to do. And then when they get out of position, which we know they do because they make mistakes, then we punch them in the mouth.
I just want to answer Sasha, because Sasha, she doesn't understand what I'm doing. Because, of course, I'm saying tomorrow. For what reason? Because this podcast will be uploaded in a few hours when we will be tomorrow. So the people that will listen on Turin Giants podcast, they will say, Bebe's right, we play tomorrow.
3D chess.
I'm already in the future, Sasha, but you cannot follow because I'm too ahead. That's why. So the game is played Saturday, for the people that are listening.
Chess, not checkers,
Friday.
people. Chess, not checkers.
So the only big match, right, against like top kind of 6 opponents when they were away this year, because they've played Napoli, they've played Inter, but they were at home. They were away at Milan back in the beginning of November, where they lost. They came out swinging. If you look at the possession and the shots, they finished that match with 63% possession, 20 shots. Now it's skewed because it's an Allegri team, right? So they're sitting back anyway. So I don't quite know what that tells us, other than like that is the match that they were away against the big side and went for it. They ended up losing, but when you look at kind of the sequence of play and where the momentum was, the majority of it was with Roma. So they did go for it, but
but you're playing Allegri, right? I mean, you have to,
I know.
Like
so
that's a giant grain of salt that you put with that, because they're sitting back, tucked in, all nice and cozy under the blanket of their 18-yard box. I
think Gasperini's going to go for it. I mean, like we've got to make a somewhat makeshift back line. I think the right side of his field is much stronger than the left. They're going to go for it and put us on the back foot and see what we're made of.
I think we will attack. We don't hear you, Freda.
I think we will play high pressure.
I think as well.
I think that would be the way to win. I think that would be the way to win. I don't think we will, but
that coupled with Roma going for it would make for an open match, and that I think can be really entertaining. I think it's going to go one of two ways. It's going to be wildly entertaining with both teams going for it, or they're going to sit back and this is going to be like a 0-0 snooze fest.
Yeah.
For Spalletti personally, this game is very important. Let me tell you why. For Spalletti, I think that for him, it makes a lot of sense to stay in that positive mood, because we all know that he's going to have some sort of evaluation during the limited time we have in the holiday break. And I think he's really gunning for that positive vibe for the team as well, because if you come out with a point gain and a little, climb in the ranking, and you can fortify that with 1, 2, 3, maybe new players in January, then you have the table set out for you. Then you just keep that positive thing going. You have the calendar, which speaks in your favor, in theory. So these are all positive notes that we could grasp in order to climb up the table. But the last hurdle, or the last, for me, difficult game is the Roma game, and I think Spalletti will do everything he can to win that, albeit dirty or whatever. He's gonna do whatever to get that game in.
I agree. That's what I want him to do, but the evidence does not support that. Look at how we played in the formation against Napoli. It was an absolute disaster going in, playing presumably based on how he set up his team, as far as I'm concerned, not to lose. And it bit him in the butt.
But he learned.
But no, because then you come out against Bologna, and Beppe correctly says that we had to respond after getting kicked in the teeth for the first 5 minutes.
Yeah,
And so,
not the teeth, not the teeth.
Okay, sorry, Beppe. I didn't want to trigger you. Kicked in the nose. Okay, there we go.
Attenzione. Weston McKennie card. Weston McKennie card, which means the question is, we keep, we renew, we don't renew, we wait until the summer. What do we do with Weston McKennie? This is the question.
That's a very unique picture, because that must be him from last season, because he still has the 16 shorts instead of 22 from this season, but he's in the new.
What an eye. What an eye.
Look at him flexing his knowledge.
Well, how many numbers has he worn? 4? 14, 8, 16, and 22?
It all depends on which locker he gets.
Yeah. Prepare yourself, because then we have this question later. Joao Mario. So let's start with Weston McKennie.
Keep him.
Renew him.
Keep him.
Yep. Renew him.
Fuori.
So I'll back it up just a minute. Now, you look at the history of our midfielders going back to 2011, 2012, over all of that. Does he see the pitch in a starting position in a normal match over the stellar midfielders that we have had then? No. He's a role player. There were roles for players like Padoin, right? Who played a part and played a role. And McKennie is better than a Padoin or a Stefano Sturaro who had roles in those teams. But I think given where we are now, his Swiss Army knife capability of running his tail off and being able to be plugged in anywhere on the pitch and not complain and not have any post-match discussions of, this isn't my natural position, I'm better in this place, I don't like this. It's just, he does what's asked of him and he gives it his all. And that speak. Not enough people and players on our team have that same mentality, and it's something I truly respect. Now, I wish we had a stronger and deeper midfield rotation that would outshine him, but there's a reason, a clear reason, why this coaching carousel we've had since he joined with Pirlo, why every season he's on the fringe, but still somehow ends up being an anchor and a reference point to this team. And it didn't just happen once. This has happened 3 or 4 times at this point with different coaches. And to me, that speaks to his mentality. It speaks to the flexibility. It speaks to him fighting adversity. And I hope we get to a point again where we have better midfielders, where he is playing more of a role as opposed to being more front and center, because that means Juve is improving as a squad. But for where this team is right now, renew him.
The flip side is if you didn't and you lost everything that Kevin just said, you would have to replace it, presumably with guys within our organization or with a new player. Nobody within our team, bar maybe a Cambiasso who wakes up, can provide that versatility and quality at multiple positions. And to do what he does, you'd have to bring in 3 different players, which of course for a team on financial struggles is difficult. I think from everything that Kevin said, as well as the
euro net, you keep him or not?
Say that again?
At 4.5 million net, you keep him or not?
Yes.
Yeah.
It depends on who you can replace him with.
But see, that's the point. He plays 6 roles, Fred. You can't.
Yeah, but he doesn't play 6 roles equally as good. We have to be honest here. He's not like, because he deserves the respect and the praises he gets. Don't get me wrong. I love the fact, especially this season after the arrival of Spalletti, and we talked about this at length. But the question begs: is he going to be of influence in the future for Juventus? And then you need to figure out on if we have somebody in that's better on paper, because you never know. Then there's a choice to be made. And I'm reading in the chat that he doesn't need to be a starter. Agreed, but why would you pay 4.5 net for somebody on the bench? I think it's time to move on. He had his time. He had a lot of time. He did,
because he's a proven quantity, and we haven't proven that we can sign players that perform.
But
and he's not. He's not our biggest problem.
Is he really that consistent, though?
Yes.
And think about it this way, Frederic. As we said earlier, is we have no midfielders who can score goals. I mean, he's led us in assists 2 years ago. He is the only midfielder that provides any consistent threat, either from goals and assists. Just in the last game, obviously it was called back from a narrow offsides, but delivering the ball to David on that offside goal, he's clearly showed. Yeah. Does his touch let him down at times, and was his form not that great earlier this year? No question. But when you look at everybody around us in the team, he's way more consistent. He's way more healthy. He works way harder, and he contributes on both sides of the ball way more than Thuram, who we all know has major potential but hasn't showed on a day-to-day basis. Koopmeiners, who makes 5 net, okay, for the year and a half has been pretty poor, right? I mean, nobody has been as consistent as he is. He might be consistently good, not great, but a team where we are right now needs that. We can use that. We can build around that, because we got.
I would personally not give 4.5. No way. 1 and 2. I said it and I repeat. I would not extend anybody except of Kenan Yildiz, which we actually don't need because he has a contract until 2029 now. But except of him, I would extend nobody until the end of the season, at risk of losing him for free. But if he wants to stay, and if he wants to understand also what salary we are offering and we are agreeing, then it's a perfect match. I have no problem with McKennie because indeed he's consistent. He can play a lot of roles, but he's not the one that is the specialist as a right wing back, as a midfielder, as a number 10. He's not a specialist in anything, but he's good at everything. So a not specialist for 4.5. No. If he really wants to stay, bravo, stay for 3 million. Why not? And then we can find ourselves. But if you're able to show me until the end of the season what you are able to give in terms of consistency and what opportunity we have in terms of name, etc., I would not sign anybody. And then if he wants to leave because he's not happy, then we go for someone else.
Yeah, I think in general, and we tend to do that as Juventus fans, we highlight the things that are negative, and we do that often, especially I do. But we also get lost sometimes in the positive notes that we see. And I speak in general now, not of McKennie, because I share the same sentiment. For me, in this current squad, and I'm not talking about results individually as a team, but there are not a lot of players that make my heart beat faster. Because if we look back in history, Pogba was a guess, not a financial one, but it was just like a risk because nobody knew Pogba. What he did was amazing. That's like a 1 in a million chance that happens. However, we said goodbye to him as well. We said goodbye to Dybala as well. And to me, those were players that left their mark. And I struggle with the fact that we cannot, as a management squad or whatever you want to call it, find players that leave their mark. And McKennie, given the example, does that, but like Pepe highlighted, in 6 different positions, and he does it fairly well. But I just want somebody, for instance, who's a center midfielder, who does things a center midfielder does, and gives assists and goals.
Agreed, but we have a plethora of midfielders who are either under delivering or not contributing, or maybe not a fit. But I will say, so when you said 4.5, you said net. I was thinking gross. At net, that puts him top 4 players on the team. So 4.5 net is a lot. Is too much. Like that is
that's
too much.
what he's at. You know.
He wants 5. He wants 5.
I heard that they found an agreement with Giuntoli for 6 million euros.
Yeah.
Net.
Yeah.
And bravo to his agent.
And at a certain moment, because normally Giuntoli should never ask someone for extending a contract, but on that contract, somebody at Juve that should not say, they said, stop, we cannot do that.
No, I mean, because he's on 2.5 net right now. I mean, Coop is on 4.5, Bremer 5, David 6, Duzon.
He wants 4.8 plus bonuses. 4.8 net plus bonuses.
That's too much. I mean, would I renew him at the right price? Everything I said, I still stand by, and I think he's a player I would like to stay on this team, particularly given the situation we're in. 4.5 is a lot.
Yeah.
Make it an even 5.5.
I talk net often. For what reason? Because the gross is also influenced by the crescita or not.
For sure.
So I prefer to talk net, but I always try to use both of them. But it's better to talk net to understand what really is in the pocket of the player at the end. Then if you speak from a financial point of view, it's always better to see it gross, because at the end that's what we are paying for players. Carta Joao Mario. What is happening with Joao Mario in January or not? Would you give him another chance? Would you keep him?
Arrivederci.
He asked to be, if I'm not mistaken, he asked to be loaned out or sold. I think that was his request. And Juventus is not very positive about the selling part yet, but they were positive about the loan part, as from what I understand. So, but to me, this is the most illogical thing that you could do, because it's not as if he costs us a lot of money in terms of salary and contract. So you have the risk, because if he goes, you need to replace him numerically. That's a given. But who do you replace him with? Do you replace him from somebody from next gen and take a chance and hoping somebody from next gen evolves? Then I'm happy with that. But if you go out and spend for somebody who is probably a liability or a risk in that regard, then I can't see the sense behind it all.
At today, Norton Coffee is closer to Inter than to any other team from Italy. I know that this morning they were speaking about him to Milan, but at today he's closer to Inter. Zach, I have a question from you. Give me a number.
For what?
I don't know. Give me a number.
Oh, any number. Any number. Okay. 11.
11. Oh, beautiful. Okay. 11. So you will tell me something about the player number 11, huh? 1. We'll do it fast. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh, yeah, well.
Tell me something. Whatever you want about Gleison Bremer. You can speak about Juve Roma. You can speak about the importance. You can speak if we sell him or not. Whatever you want.
His importance in our team cannot be overstated. From a quiet leadership on the pitch to his defensive dominance, we desperately need Bremer to be healthy and to play for us. When he was healthy at the beginning of Motta's time, he was an absolute dynamo. We went on that long run without conceding goals. Him being a big reason, not only playing center back, but also covering for Cambiaso's roaming on the left, basically playing 2 positions at once. He rightfully won Serie A's best defender back when he was with Torino. And that's what we need. So much of our squad right now is hindered by hindered by our lack of depth and quality at center back that could alleviate better formed Koopmeiners to return to the midfield, to play more of a Spalletti style midfield over, say, as we talked about in previous episodes, Beppe, Locatelli, who might be a competent player but might not be a Spalletti player. It all is hinging on, and Kalulu, to go back to right back. I mean, so much hinges on us having this healthy center back. It all starts with him.
I have a last question before we close, because then we close. I cannot just ignore it, but we heard about Perin, Locatelli, today Gatti, that is defending the group, where he posted something on Instagram earlier saying that where can I see it or not? Wait, let me go on Instagram. Wait, but basically he said I'm astonished that we are speaking about that before a big game like Juve Roma. And on top of that, some people are believing something that is out of totally nowhere. So what is your take about the rumors about Jonathan David being excluded and the reaction, especially from 3 players now that are speaking about it?
Their reaction is bullshit. Simple.
There's something fishy there, right? If there's no issues in the dressing room, then nobody needs to say anything because everything is copacetic. If things aren't good, you still don't say anything because then you basically admit that something's wrong. When you come out and you make these posts, it almost seems like really bad, forced, empty PR stuff to me.
If you see, I'm gonna let you read.
No, it's basically what I said. I would just want to show it to people.
If you see Jonathan David arriving at Juventus and you see Instagram or the Juventus channel with pictures with him and Locatelli laughing and with Perin from September or August or whenever, and then this rumor comes out of play, you say, no, it's not true. Because we saw that there's some chemistry between the players, maybe he needs time to adjust. If you've never seen it and you see how David plays or in the beginning as opposed to how we did with Lille, and then you hear this story, and then they come out and say, oh, let's make a picture. Locatelli with the suit on, Jonathan David smiling for the first time in his life. I'm surprised he's not injured at the cheekbones. But to me, that's
it's
sorry.
Pepe
sorry, Pepe. Sorry, Pepe. But I feel. I mean, we talked about this, Pepe, and we have some things that we hear as well from inside, and it is a fact that he wasn't received as he should have been received by the team as a whole. And I'm ready to, stick my hands in the fire for that. He wasn't received as he was supposed to be received, and you could tell from the way he acted, the way he played, the way he trained. So,
can I ask Kevin a question?
Yeah,
Kevin, pretend you're a leader of an organization, okay? And there's some rumors going out and stuff like this, like. How do you handle a situation and pretend that they're bullshit? Right? There's no issues, but there's all this noise. How do you properly handle the situation?
Well, I act immaturely and just post on social media, right?
Not really what I was getting at. Not really what I was getting at.
I know. So that was a tongue-in-cheek answer, right? If this is such a rumor, you do one of two things. If you know it not to be true and it's just noise, you tell your team just like ignore that noise and let's just stay focused on the match. Like, and you just keep your head down and continue focusing and not get distracted by it. If it is becoming a major distraction, somebody in the Juve organization speaks up to the media and not letting it come out piecemeal across a bunch of different players expressing half-baked thoughts or whatever might be coming. Whether it's true or not, what's happening feels inauthentic and forced. I can understand the mentality of
some people are writing like you will hear in the chat, but they're saying they are just replying and posting to let us know that it's bullshit. So some people are saying it's the correct way of handling things. Depends. how you are.
I can understand it, right? If I'm a captain of a team and let's assume for a moment that it is nonsense and it is some disruption or somebody read into something and it's this is my player. Of course, I understand that as a reaction, even though I don't think that's the right way to do it. But I also see it from the other way. If I've been accused of something and now I'm exposed and now I'm like, no, everything's okay. Like, don't pay attention to that. See, everything's great, right? I don't know which way to read it. I just think it's the wrong way to deal with it. And I have to imagine if it was total bullshit and if it was meaningful enough, somebody within the club would say something in a more professional way to take the pressure off the players. But the fact that that's not happening leads me to believe that something is happening and there is disruption within this mentally weak side going on behind closed doors.
But also, we're talking about Jonathan David here. I'm pulling in Locatelli, Perin, Gatti. But when do we hear from Jonathan David?
I was going to ask, why? What's his statement?
Makes sense? Like, would it not make sense?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Zero.
I mean, it makes sense for him to, if you read this and you feel that you are a part of this team because people are discrediting your team as a whole, then as a part of that team, it should be your responsibility as well to reach out to me and say, look, guys, this is concerning me. And these are players I play with. Granted, I'm not friends with all of them because you never are, but I have a couple of players who I consider friends. But we as a squad, as a unit, as a whole, are in good spirits with each other. We do the best we can. We work together. We try to get the results in we need together. This is absolutely something that's out of context, is false. And I stand by that. I'm happy with the people around me. I'm happy with my job at the team. And done. But it doesn't happen.
I don't know if it's true or not. The only thing that I want to say is that two things. The first one is they made it themselves. Because if you have a new striker that is arriving, but your actual striker that is on the market, it's non-stop posting number 9, the day of the arrival of Jonathan David, it's not the best way to welcome a new player. If you have Federico Gatti that is now speaking about, but the day that the captain band should have gone, he believed to him and he was not happy to give it to Thuram. It's creating him yourself, If you have no celebration, we talked about it here. Some people are saying, yeah, Beppe, you're looking too much into it, but we talked about the non-celebration. You're doing actually to yourself. That's the first thing. True or not true, but the image that you are giving is one. The second thing is clean up your mess.
Yeah.
Clean up the mess, because true or not true, I've known Juve teams that were not best friends. Who cares about being best friends? But true or not true, clean up your mess, because that should never have leaked. Because then the question is, who is leaking or right or fake informations? I personally know Camilo De Michelis, the one that spoke about it. I know him really well. He's not the clickbait guy. He's not the one that is looking for fame. So it's a person that received that information, correct or wrong. So, or someone is looking for sabotage with fake information, or someone is leaking true information. But one or the other should never have been out of a locker room, right or wrong. So clean your mess that you created yourself. How do you create it? By winning.
To winning, but you also are proactive. I mean, the thing is like if you're any professional organization, you're especially a public one, you let people know what's going on, whether it be public disclosures from a financial standpoint or press releases from a business standpoint. You control the narrative. Come out, be proactive with everything. Make yourself available. Make yourself transparent. We've talked about transparency or lack thereof with this Juventus for a few years now. If they were more proactive, I mean, Frederic, you complain about it constantly. Locatelli basically reads the same script every time you interview him, right? There doesn't seem to be a lot of authenticity in some of the access that you have, where you could have showed a little bit of humanity and be able to talk openly. Hey, we got a lot of new players.
Or giving a penalty to Jonathan David.
I mean, I don't actually believe he should have in that situation. Truth, I think you stick to the hierarchy. It's there for a reason.
On a 1-0, if you know the dynamics of a team, I would have given to Jonathan David.
But that's separate. I think Juventus, and this is just a general strategy standpoint. This isn't a Jonathan David thing. I think transparency and a little dose of authenticity outside of simply the coach's communications would help quiet or get ahead of any would-be noise that people are creating. And I do like to see the picture with Locatelli, because if I'm a captain and I hear that somebody might be feeling ostracized and hasn't spoken up as a captain, my first thing would be go to talk to him. Hey man, is everything okay? What can we do? Is there anything? But that happens behind the scenes. You don't post an Instagram picture of it and be like, look at what good buddies we are. We're hanging out on the weekend playing board games and grabbing a beer. No, come on.
It's so superficial.
Yeah, and you also, we could all see it, like, this team is not a team in the true sense of the word yet. That's our main gripe, because apart from technical abilities or whatever talent, whatever you want to bring into discussion, we could tell that this team was mentally fragile and not a unit. Because if we compare it, and I know we shouldn't, but I'm going to compare it to the first year at Conte, we didn't have these world-class players. Granted, we had some, but you could see that everybody was fighting for each other, and the essence of being a team was reincarnated into that squad. We don't have that. So that leads me to believe that there are some certain fragmentations within the dressing room. And so it's not a big reach.
And here we are talking about this.
That
what a distraction.
Chiellini knows him really well, Spalletti. And Spalletti, if there is one thing that he hates the most, is leaks from the locker rooms. He hates that.
Yeah. And Spalletti's trying his best to get this team to be a team. And this is something maybe that Tudor fell short on, because Tudor had as favorites in terms of, like everybody does, as a teacher, as a coach, as a manager, whoever. But I think Spalletti now is the real is the actual person that is able to form somewhat of a team in the dressing room and outside of that. And it's a very difficult task. It's a very difficult task with this squad. I'm not going to go into details, but a lot of egos that
now I'm smiling today. I'm smiling today.
A lot of egos in the dressing room, and egos that are very high over their own performances while they shouldn't be.
They're misplaced. It's the lack of self-awareness, right?
If you have egos that deserve to be an ego, like Cristiano Ronaldo is maybe the biggest ego in football history, but he works the hardest. So the ego that he has, he can back that up with performances, with mentality, with vision, leadership.
There is not one player in this team that can believe that he's over the choice of a coach or whatever. First, they need to show, and then we will see. Prediction of Juve Roma, and then we close and we go to Dodo. I can't laugh anymore. I can't talk anymore. It's too much. Who wants to start?
Zach.
Why I always start? I'm gonna deviate from my usual victory prediction. I'm going to, I've sort of implied when I kind of looked forward at this game, I think it is going to be more of that chess match than a slugfest, and so I think it's going to end 0-0.
Oh, if Zach changes up his tune, then I have to too.
I'm right.
3-1 Juve. 3-1 Juve.
Ooh.
3-1? Ooh.
3-1 Juve.
We're giving Roma their first draw of the season. 1-1.
1-1. Yes, if you do 0-0, 3-1, and 1-1, I go with my streak. 0-1.
Yeah, you need to predict a loss, Beppe. That's how we win. That's how it works.
Yeah, but you
I
can't
hope
reveal
so.
it. You can't reveal it because if you reveal my secret, then it's over. With the lucky charm, it's technique.
Oh well, I'll then need to unreveal.
Yes,
No,
nuts.
no,
I take
no.
it back.
I will
I
tell
take
you
it
what
back.
I think. What I think
Jinx.
really. I was thinking or like you, a 0-0 or a 0-1 for Roma. Let's see.
It's gonna be a tough match. I'm excited for it.
Or a very easy one. First 15
Mr.
minutes.
3-1, Mr. 3-1 over there.
No,
So,
no,
yeah.
no. I think that the first 15 minutes will be critical because the first 15 minutes will reveal with what intensity we want to start the game and if Roma is going to be shook by the way we play. Because I think Roma's not expecting us to be aggressive. Or I don't think their coach Gasperini is. So if you do that and you get them in a state of confusion and a bit of panic,
That's
a lot can
exactly what
happen.
we said against Napoli. We said if we push them high, if we're able to tide over the first 15 minutes,
Spalletti didn't listen.
and then it was
Spalletti
an
didn't listen.
absolute disaster.
He's gonna listen now. He started following.
He started
so,
following
it's all
following
good.
our
It's all-
okay.
It's all good. It's all
Maybe
good.
we should do the false 9 again.
Oh god.
No, no.
Sorry.
Oh, don't remind me.
No,
Don't
sorry.
remind me. No,
Reverse,
please.
reverse.
Yeah,
Ragazzi,
reverse.
we see each other because, of course, the 25th and so 24th, 25th, 31st, and the 1st we will not be live here. Maybe we can do something in the meanwhile. It could be if we have an opportunity. Otherwise, thank you for a fantastic 15 episodes already. Also for today.
Alright.
I was not in the best of my form, so I'm sorry for that. But you were fantastic. I
It's
was
okay.
really happy to do it with you, my friends.
Thank
Always
you
good
so
to be here,
much,
Pepe.
Pepe. And have a good recovery, and
Mhm.
we'll see each other soon. And also thank you to the viewers for
Absolutely.
the interaction and staying with us and following us up. So thank you all.
Yeah, happy
Nice
holidays,
show.
regardless of what you celebrate or recognize. Just enjoy the end of the year with family and loved ones. And Forza Juve.
And Turin Giants on YouTube. You see, there is already the show here. If you go here, you have the channel. You see, I'm subscribed. as well.
Highlighting a
And
couple of our series is the Scoop is our transfer series. It's Black and White's our Frederic is our debate series. Yeah,
Yeah,
Very
we
cool.
fight. We try.
we do fight.
guys,
virtually.
go and follow. They have 657. Please share it with all your friends so that next week when we come, we are over 1,000. Please, huh? That's
Pepe, I mean, I don't know. I think I heard that if we get to 1,000, Kevin will shave his head.
Yep. I heard that too.
I think I heard
Spalletti
that. Yeah,
told me.
I think I heard that. Yeah.
I didn't hear that, but
I think I heard that somewhere.
I'm happy.
Kevin, do you have an agreement? If we reach before the 31st of January, if we reach 1,000 followers, will you shave your head on a live?
On a live?
No, not. It doesn't have to be on a live. It doesn't have to be on a
There
live.
in Torino, in Torino.
Oh, we can shave your head.
I'll shave it.
Oh
I've
my
got a lot of
goodness.
experience.
Oh,
1,000 before the 31st.
that's never gonna happen. Let's be honest. So you might as well just say yes.
It's a safe
I know,
bet,
man.
Kevin.
It's a safe bet. Like, I mean, it's
I
just
think
My
like,
wife will kill me.
yeah, but that's not important.
Gentleman's handshake. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you heard it here, people.
You heard
Push
it
YouTube,
here,
push your
everybody.
friends, get everybody to subscribe so we can shave Kevin's head in Turin.
We were
is
at
awesome.
657. We are at 658. So it's one more. We did a bit more, guys. huh? Please help. 1,000 before the end of the year. And Kevin, we shaved the head of Kevin in Torino live. Mamma mia. I love that one.
Nice.
Ciao a tutti.
Nice.
See you soon. Ciao, ciao, guys.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye.